Good day everyone and welcome to Exile News, the weekly show that brings you all the important news and informations on Path of Exile. And the first news this week has been the patch notes for the 3.2.2 C patch, which is very small, and basically it says the yellow beasts, legendary beasts and albino roas can no longer have their corpses destroyed or consumed. This is amazing. I mean, I wonder if after like 10 hours of albino roas hunting you just blow up the corpse and cannot capture it. That would be really annoying if it happened. So now even Poet's Pen can actually farm the mud flats, and I mean that has there is a reason for that. I can agree to this change because I mean it's really annoying and there is no point in just losing the beast itself. Now that there are necromancy nets, I mean they might as well do this. So also the Elder waits and does not drop item before he explodes, so that he doesn't unwillingly bait people into getting the loot and then explode, killing players, which is of course a problem, especially in the Hardcore League. A pretty funny bug if you ask me, but now it's fixed. Also a lot of bug fixes which are always pretty good. And finally, skill revamp part 3, and I say finally because it is about Rain of Arrows, which is one of my favorite skills, as I said in previous videos, and now they are working on a way to kind of fix it, kind of make it actually viable, because it works fine in the early game, but once you get access to Pierce or Chain and whatever else the projectile skills have, you can cover a much bigger area with projectiles than with the Rain of Arrows. So what GGG is going to do, basically every arrow, as you can see here, every circle here is an arrow, and every arrow deals AoE damage, so it's kind of an AoE skill without having too much of an AoE radius itself. Also, half of the arrows will hit targets and actually target the targets. As you can see here, you can see that most of the totems have a circle perfectly on them, while there are as many circles randomly placed. So that's how the skill works. Half of the arrows will actually target stuff, and half of the arrows will be placed randomly within those circles. So it should give an even distribution and evenly hit pretty much anything. Of course, now arrows are actually useful, so getting more arrows is great because you can target more targets or get more damage done to targets that are grouped together. So this is definitely an interesting change, and it's probably going to make Rain of Arrows more viable. Not saying it's gonna make it great again, but it's gonna make it pretty good. Definitely better than it currently is. There's also a video for the new effects that demonstrates the damage of the arrows, but it won't load. If you have the same problem, you can copy paste the URL of the actual video here, which is supposed to be here, into VLC, and you should be able to see it, although it might be slow to load depending on your internet. Anyway, Valve Rain of Arrow is also getting changed, and it's going to work pretty much as the new Rain of Arrows, except it's going to repeat itself multiple times, so it's actually going to be a constant rain in an area. I can see that working pretty well against bosses, and it also gives a very strong maim, slowing enemy by 20 or by 75%, which is actually a lot, especially if enemies are a melee type, which has to run around to actually do stuff. So definitely an interesting skill right now. I can see this being used in a lot of places, also against any stronger target or any target that doesn't move. You just place the skill and move on. Barrage is getting nerfed a little bit because it gets too much damage, 25% more damage for each extra projectile. So they're gonna change it. They're gonna make it a base of 5 projectiles instead of 4, but they will reduce the damage to compensate, so that it will gain only, and I say only, but it's already a lot, 20% more damage for each additional projectile. So the option here is to make a barrage not shit, but to give other skills a chance to actually compete with it. Also, Blast Rain will have some big, probably some big mechanical changes coming. However, for now, it will convert 100% of physical damage to fire, which is kind of weird since there are already ways like the unique quiver to actually convert the remaining physical to fire. Also, it will penetrate 25% fire resistance at gen level 20, which is actually a lot of penetration, and it works really great against resistance bosses or resistant whatever, even if they're not bosses. And if the damage, so for example, if you get a target that has 75% resistance and you penetrate 25 with this, you are pretty much doing double damage than if you were to not penetrate any of his resistance. So it's getting pretty strong, and it might be just the single target version of the new Rain of Arrows, which, by the way, since it's area damage now, could also use concentrated effect for a very strong damage boost. So we'll see how that goes, but I'm pretty sure Rain of Arrows is going to be something that's going to be fun to play, even though next league is probably going to be Trap League, having seen the last updates. However, we also are going to get some, or the first few improvement to the shop, to the in-game shop, and well, GG is pretty much redoing the layout of the thing, and it's adding a search. But the point is that this is just the base, and what GG is trying to do is to create a framework that will allow them to actually make improvement much more easily, and also to make things a lot better. And instead of just releasing everything into a single patch, they will release stuff by the time it's ready, every time it's ready. So I think that might work. The shop definitely needs an improvement, and well, this is going to be it. We'll see when we'll get it. Also, we got Build of the Week, which is the 4th episode of this season, season 8 by the way. And this time it's a kind of a collection of a kind of build using 2 Poet's Pens, which are the new wand which casts a socketed spell on attack. So with dual wielding 2, you can do a lot of interesting stuff, and most of it is about creating corpses and then exploding them, while most likely teleporting you to the corpses, or just creating more damage overall. And you can do this build with a Hierophant, a Juggernaut, an Elementalist, pretty much everything you want, to be honest, because it is definitely really strong, although you still need a couple items which are not really easy to acquire, and a good computer to actually deal with the lag and the graphic heaviness that these builds bring with it. Because I mean, it's pretty much a custom crit build, so if you couldn't handle those builds, you will probably not be able to handle this one, even though the spell he uses are a bit better than just creating 1,000 novas around you. So, very interesting build. Of course, this has been very strong for a while, and if you like it, definitely try it out. It works, and it's again really strong. So yeah, I guess that was all for this week, and if you enjoyed the video, leave a like and a comment down below. Also, if you want to remain updated every week, be sure to subscribe to my channel. So that was all. I've been your host Zorzo, and I'll see you guys the next time.